The following program on KROC is sponsored and paid for by Meshbesher and Spence.
The Zach Bauer is in the studio today. How you doing, Zach?
I'm doing great.
We're going to talk drug courts.
Yeah.
It's been in the news. Of course, the county's made actually a physical move toward developing a drug court.
Yes, long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
So the efforts of a number of different people in the community are finally coming to fruition, and it is anticipated, based upon at least my knowledge of the situation, that by late 2015, early 2016, we will have a drug court here in Olmsted County.
And why are you excited about this?
Well, I guess from not only from a practitioner standpoint, but also I guess from a person who lives in the community, I think drug courts are useful to take people that are high risk, but users primarily, whether that be of alcohol or whether it be of marijuana, or
and
whether
it's nonviolent offenses.
Yeah, so they cannot have any violent offenses, not only on the case that they're going to drug court on, but also in their history as well. So you're taking people that are nonviolent but are struggling with abuse. Typically, it's been a long struggle with abuse for a number of years. And instead of facing kind of mandatory penalties the legislature put in place a number of years ago, you're given an opportunity to rehabilitate within the community, and that's a huge issue.
And there's been a lot of success in other drug courts around the country.
Absolutely, around the country, and quite frankly, around southeastern Minnesota as well. Dodge County has a drug court. Winona County has a drug court. Wabasha County has a drug court. So, and they've seen a good level of success with those.
If people aren't familiar, it's not a pass. The person is not getting a pass. There's actually work that they have to be doing.
No, I would probably tell you that drug court is probably more intensive than normal probation, and it's not even close. I mean, they have a number of obligations they have to do throughout the program. They're having weekly contact with a judge, typically. They're also having almost daily, maybe once every other day, contact with a probation officer, and I guess to distinguish that from where a person would be on probation, when your person's on just normal probation, they typically will not have any contact with the judge at all unless they violate the terms of their probation. They may have contact with their probation officer once a week, maybe. Probably more likely to have contact with their probation officer once a month. So these people are on intensive supervision based upon the fact that they are likely to potentially use again, and they want to make sure that those checks are in place. But it's certainly not a free pass. They're entering a guilty plea. They understand there's prison time hanging over their head. And it's my understanding, speaking with Mr. Ostrom of the county attorney's office, that the spots that will be available when this drug court gets up off the ground will be only for those people that are facing potential prison time, if not for drug court.
So how is this benefit for cost-wise? I mean, you're setting up a whole new court. You got probably a new judge,
right? Well, I don't think there will not be a new judge. One of the sitting judges will take over drug court. So the cost to the Olmsted County is going to be about $110,000, give or take, I think, per year of drug court. So looking at, in anticipation of this question, I looked at some of the last numbers that we had on what it costs to put some person in prison. Back in 2010 was the last raw numbers that we had, and that was $41,000 a year.
Per person
to be in prison. So if you have a list of 10 people that normally would have gone to prison, but for drug court, you're looking at $400,000.
And they're becoming a viable person in society again.
They're becoming a viable person in society, and more importantly, I guess from my standpoint, people can remain sober when they're institutionalized and when they're locked up. But the reality is that they're not going to be locked up forever. They will come out, and the same issues that they're dealing with, they'll deal with them again. So the issue is, can they be successful and remain sober in society? Not whether they can remain sober in an institution. I know they can do that. So I guess from a societal standpoint, and as a citizen of this community, if we can help somebody out, save the taxpayers the money in the meantime, but more importantly, make that person a contributing member of society, the costs are well worth it, and they outweigh the cost of sending somebody to prison.
So it looks like maybe within a year we should have an actual drug court, you thinking?
I am hopeful that by the time we get around to November or December this year, we'll be up and running.
Excellent. All right. If anybody needs more information, needs to get a hold of you or any of the folks out at Meshbesher and Spence, how do they do that, Zach?
They can get a hold of us at 507-280-8090 or visit us online at www.meshbesher.com.
Excellent. Have a great week.
You guys too.
Say hi to Andrew.
Yeah, I will. Bye.